Now tuning in to Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.
I saw something on Twitter this week that said the fucking dad from the Jetsons is canonically born in August of this year.
He's coming. He's almost here.
And that, like, the prophet is supposed to be born this year, and I feel like I'm not supposed to be alive for that.
Right. I feel like I shouldn't be here for that.
The Jetsons, when I watched it as a kid, was always supposed to be, like, too far off in the future. Because they had, like, flying cars and shit.
Right. Yeah. We are not there yet.
No,
you know?
Like, the world's on fire, shit's underwater. Like, that's not... The Jetsons was too powerful.
Right.
And to be fair, like, they were white, so, like, you know...
So they probably...
like, maybe it is a future, but...
Sure.
Whatever. That's, like, one of the things I feel like I learned in 7th grade where it was, like, Cleopatra is alive at the same time as the pyramids. And it's like, don't fucking stop.
Like, I don't like that. I think that seems not right.
It's like, I don't even know this teacher's name yet. You can't just, like, say stuff like that
Right.
walking into the room.
You can't just be a harbinger of time and space when you feel like it. I'm a child. I don't know anything.
And it's like, you all wonder, you all make fun of me for not understanding time, for getting scared of it. And yet, this is the kind of stuff that we have to deal with on a daily basis. No thank you.
But, like, am I wrong? Am I wrong
No.
about being afraid of time?
Hi.
Yo.
Hi. Hey, this is releasing on kind of a weird day. I'm going to be honest.
Sure. Yeah. We love patriotism. Just kidding. That's a
On
joke.
this show? No.
If this is your first episode, you might be confused. Also, wild place to start. Maybe try something else, but welcome.
Yeah, you're on the wrong show. Go listen to a Marvel podcast or something.
Yeah.
They'd probably be
If
like,
you want...
today we're celebrating the birth of Captain Steve Rogers.
Right. And the military-industrial complex. Yeah.
Ew.
The holiday sucks, right? Like, it's objectively bad and
At
stands
least
for
those frosted
nothing.
cookies are really good, though.
But the frosted cookies, very good. Hot dogs, great. Beaches, fun.
Beach is
Getting
good.
drunk at a beach with, like, a charcuterie situation, fabulous.
Fireworks,
Okay.
bad.
Bad, very bad. Hate them. Make me scared.
Makes the air bad.
Too loud. Yeah,
Too loud.
it's bad for everyone, for people, animals, the environment.
The air. But
Yeah.
ice cream trucks, good.
Yeah.
Corn on the cob, really
Yes. That top tier.
good. Watermelon, sometimes good.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Really bad.
Sometimes really bad. Hey, how are you? Welcome to cancer season.
Yes, I am a crab. It's been a wild, wacky week, so that's been fun. Not
that.
always great. I haven't really been, like, watching a lot of, like, new stuff or things that we haven't previously talked on the podcast, or things I have not watched enough of yet to properly be like, this is something you should watch, right? So I'm in a little bit of a lull here.
Same. Anti-new stuff right now.
And yeah, for real. And, like, summer, they're just depriving us, waiting until, like, mid of this month, which is like, hello, rude. But last night, I stumbled upon a video in which YouTuber Eddie Burback did an experiment in which he went to, more of a challenge, actually. He went to every single rainforest cafe in the US and Canada across a road trip spanning, like, 3 weeks.
Oh no.
And that is maybe my favorite film of this year.
I didn't know that they were still, like, standing.
Yes. Oh, they for sure are. You would think with, like, the death of malls, the rainforest cafes would also... But no, they somehow persist. Some of them are very fancy. It is magical. Because we used to have one in Chicago for like a really long time, and it doesn't exist anymore. They still, like, the outside facade is still there. Like, there's like a bunch of, you know, vines and animals and shit up on the top of this building, and people are trying to make it into a dispensary, which would be fucking hilarious.
Oh, that would be great.
And so this guy just went on a 3-week road trip with a buddy of his, I guess, for 3 straight weeks, and went to like 19 or 18 different rainforest cafes.
Was it sponsored?
No. This was
really?
Just, hey, this is a silly idea and it sounds really silly. Let's do it. And they did it. And the light of his eyes fading after so many consecutive trips to the rainforest cafe, and how many thunderstorms they have every 20 minutes while sitting in a rainforest cafe. It is poetry. It's literally just watching a man lose his own sense of self, his own purpose. It is beautiful, also while being surrounded by animatronics. I'm obsessed with it. It's very funny to me.
That sounds scary. I don't know that I've ever been in a rainforest cafe.
Ever?
Yeah, I don't know that we had them here. But I feel like the way that you're describing this, one sounds like very 2013 YouTube. Like,
yes,
the way that you're describing this feels like it was one of those fucking Ford Fiesta challenges.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, I'm gonna take my new Ford Fiesta and I'm gonna see all the rainforest cafes.
God, what a wild era of YouTube that was.
Do you remember when fucking Megan Tonjes got a tattoo? Because
Stop.
of that? Like, they paid.
Yes.
Anyways, I'm the fucking crypt keeper.
Yeah. The keeper of all internet knowledge.
One, that's wild that they did not pay for that, because that very much feels like we're trying to save malls.
Right. It's like, please get that youth demo on it. But no. They just wanted to do it because they thought it'd be funny.
So, wow, that's oof. I'm so curious now.
Yeah, but that's my my hero of the week.
Amazing. I love it.
How are you doing, my dude?
Oh, I'm here.
Hey,
I'm
that's
present. Great. I showed up, so I get my gold star for this week. I have an update that I promised you about Gossip Girl that I will provide later. But that is not, in fact, the happy thing I'm going to bring.
Okay.
So I will provide that in just a moment.
Yeah.
But my happy thing happened yesterday.
Okay.
I went to do my usual grocery pickup. I was sitting in my car waiting for them to bring my groceries out. And usually my staples are consistent, I would say. Now, I got a little wild and frisky, wanted to try a new recipe this week.
Okay. And
in order to do that, I needed to purchase a bottle of cooking wine to do that.
Okay.
Now, I do not have alcohol in my home because I don't drink. Yeah. So I had no fucking clue what I was looking for when I purchased this online to pick up. But sure, fine. I figured it out.
Sure.
The child who brought my groceries to my car yesterday, and I know people say this all the time, but could not have been a day over 16.
Yeah.
And in the midst of coming up to my car, asking me for my code and stuff, needed to ask me for my ID, which was flattering because I never get carded.
Yeah.
But in the process of doing so, his voice cracked. And I have never felt older in my entire life and just like regretted this decision because it's like I don't know what I'm doing. You don't know what you're doing. But I'm very clearly like at almost twice your age, child. Yeah. I know you can only see my eyes right now, but you can see the wrinkles on the sides. Like, I use retinol.
You know.
Let's be honest here. You're trying to do your job, but you also just asked for my ID and your voice cracked. I provide my ID. He does his job. But I have never felt more like a white woman on Etsy getting a fucking, like, a cricket-covered wine glass of, like, here's my wine. And it's just, like, I don't know how to tell this child that it's like, I'm just trying to fucking cook scallops. Brian.
Right. I'm not trying to get drunk, Brian.
I'm not trying to drink this while watching The Real Housewives. Like, I don't know what I'm doing with this. Okay? Like, can we both
I don't know what this does.
And I just left that whole situation being like, ooh, I never want to do that again.
Right. This is why I don't talk to people outside.
This is why I don't do this. Because I just felt so like, can you help me?
Please.
This is what I get for trying to fucking step out of the box and try to cook with wine, but whatever. It was hilarious to me in the moment and made me feel incredibly old. And
yeah, that is very,
I thought I would share.
Very funny. Yeah, that poor kid being like, ma'am, please.
Okay, so we have a couple of current events. Most importantly, being that in the past week, since we recorded for you all, I have in fact started Gossip Girl.
Yes. We got another one. Yeah.
Hey, friends, this show is a mess.
Yes.
And I did tell Cody this over the past week and was primarily just texting being like, hey, how did CW of all people, I guess it was the WB back. No, it would have been the CW.
Yeah.
How did they get the money for all this music? Because, and I'm only still on season 1 because I don't want to speed through this. This is important to me.
You can, right. This is the culture. I gotta take notes, okay?
It is, the first season is in 2007, and all of the music that they are using is not just like generic 2007 music. It is specifically all the music that was on my iPod that played at my middle school dances. And I just want to know how they fucking afforded that.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's beautiful. It's gay, even though they don't want it to be. And
it's so
I love
gay.
it a lot. And I will continue to update.
I'm very excited for you in this journey. Excited for all the fashion moments.
Oh
you
my
will
God.
see. It gets so wild.
I can't wait for them to let Penn be brave enough to grow out his hair. Because it's weird to see him with a buzz cut.
Oh my God, it takes so long. But once he's there, it'll be great. His curls really, really pop at some point.
Speaking of TV, we finally have a fucking date for Vampire Academy.
Oh my God, it's finally here. We're actually
literally
getting
months.
It exists.
Were we not talking about the Winter Olympics when we saw our preview? It's been months. And now they're finally being like, oh, anyways, so we thought we'd tell you the date when this is coming out.
Right. Might as well just drop that.
So mark your calendars. September 15th, a true fall premiere.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
It's all coming to this, baby. We've been working, grinding.
We're going to be not done with the series at this point, but like more than halfway.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. So I love that.
And the show will just be like the first season, I'm assuming.
That's what I hope.
You know, I don't think they're going to like speed run.
I'm very curious. I hope they give us like a full trailer soon. Instead of just these little clip moments.
The 2-second like fight scene.
But I'm very excited, so mark your calendars.
Hell yeah.
Do you want to take us to Lime Liar Dakota Johnson?
It's that time again. Our girl, she's here. She's saying stuff. She's been making a little bit of news. It feels like, obviously, since Persuasion is coming out, like, in 2 weeks, she's doing a lot of the junkets, doing a lot of the interviews and stuff, and going back in time, talking about, 50 Shades. What was that like? You know, because everybody wants to know what that was like. And it's interesting. Like, she talked to Paper. There was also, like, an LA Times profile. A lot of things being, like, this wasn't, I signed up for like a very different experience kind of energy.
Yes. She speaks.
You know. She's breaking her silence.
Yeah.
But she was like, you know, no regrets as things progress, but like if she had known what it was going to be like getting into it, she probably wouldn't have done it and thought it was like quote unquote psychotic.
I just want to know like what
was the pitch?
20, I know. Was she was 23 when she signed that contract. What the fuck did E.L. James say when she signed up for it at that point?
Right. Like what was
Dakota like, let's be honest, was Dakota just not listening and she was like, whoa, like,
I mean, I think that's fair. I feel like she definitely didn't read the book beforehand.
No,
you know,
no, right?
But also like I feel like she would have read the script or something. So like what would they have selected that would have been like, oh, this seems great. You know,
right? Because we know that it's not a Leah Michelle thing. Like, she can read.
We know she can read.
she just chose not to.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm confused about, because I don't think, listen, I will never defend E.L. James.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would be confused, I guess, if E.L. James went into this and had said something to both Dakota and Jamie being like, listen, I know that I wrote this like really fucked up raunchy, I mean, it's not really raunchy, but like this really fucked up series.
Right.
But the movies, they're not going to be that way, I promise.
Right. It's like, I feel like something got lost in communication here. Or just was not listening. You know, because like, how could you be pitched this and not immediately get what the vibe is?
Right, exactly.
Like,
and to be fair, we covered this years ago. The books and the movies do have significant differences.
Right.
But not in terms of like large plot points.
Right, like the meat of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so where was there like a game of telephone that happened?
Right.
Where, like E.L. James told Dakota's people and then Dakota's people told her? Oh, I am confusion, I guess.
Yeah, I have no idea how that happened, but you know what?
I don't believe. I just don't. And listen, I believe women, but Dakota has proven to be a liar before.
This is true.
About limes, which are incredibly important to me. Right. So I'm just like, what the fuck did you think 50 Shades of Grey was about other than really not BDSM? Like, let's be honest. And maybe that was the maybe E.L. James was like, this is actually going to be like a really healthy portrayal of BDSM. Right. And if
it's really trying to like softball it, be like, hey, we're going to do this in a feminist way. Don't you worry.
And if that was the case, then Dakota did sign up for something completely different than what she got into.
Yeah.
But if she had read the source material, she would know that was absolutely not true.
Right.
So, you know what? Maybe they're both wrong.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
You know, I fuck them. Fuck them both.
Yeah.
They're all bad. I want to say that I'm excited to talk about our chapters this week, but I'm actually very scared.
Yeah. This not a great batch here, huh?
I just want to say, friends, maybe some of you just listen to the first half because you like it when we like gab and gossip and love our like juicy tidbits and banter.
Right, and how charming and fabulous we are. Yeah.
Right, exactly. There is like no way that anything past this point is going to be good for you if you struggle with like substance abuse.
Yep.
Or if you know anyone that does. Mm-hmm. So I just want to give you that heads up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That like it is not subtle at any point in these two chapters this week, and so I don't know how we would avoid talking about it. So if that's not cool with you, sweet. I can't say that next week's episode will be better.
Right.
But we got lots of cool episodes that you can listen to and enjoy.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Just fair warning.
Just
there's a lot, and it's not great.
It was tough to read.
Yes.
Last week, what I remember, Rose got bonked on the head.
Yes.
Rose got just a kiss of a concussion.
Right.
And when she woke up, she was in a really well disguised prison cell.
Yes.
In the form of a like a Hilton, not a La Quinta Inns and Suites, just a very nice hotel.
Yeah.
Nothing breakable. And there were new vampires that were there, and humans that want to be vampires, probs.
Right. Yeah.
And
just some
and
fangirls.
Like,
yeah.
Dimitri was like, "Join me, lol," and she was like, no," and he was like, "Okay, well, while you think about it, here's pepperoni and brownies."
And no silverware. Please don't use anything as a weapon.
And notably no silverware.
Yeah.
Yes. That is what I remember. So, where do we start off in chapter 19? I'm so nervous.
It's so bad. Okay.
It's so bad.
She's still, in this cell, and anytime she's, left alone, she's obviously continuing to try to get out, to no real avail. Right, because she's literally a prisoner. Right. But to no avail. It's not really... It's just kind of sort of losing hope of different ways of figuring it out. Because there's, a bunch of keypads, there's, the chair, the windows are fully, some sort of bulletproof or whatever. She gets exhausted, and
she is under the impression that it is an escape room.
Right.
And she has not quite realized yet that the escape is not part of this yet.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And she notes that, Dimitri calls this place as, an estate, which is obviously, not very comforting for her when she's thinking about, an escape plan, because that means, there's a lot of different... I don't know how big this place is. I don't know, a map of how many alleys or doors or whatever. There's a lot of things going on. And also a lot of fucking vampires that can come out and just nap,
Right. Yeah. Estates, notably, bigger than homes.
Bigger, yes.
Makes it difficult to escape.
Right. And, and she notes, too, that, about, vampire unions, which is very funny, of being there were times where Strigoi and other folks were trying to fight together, but it didn't really work all the time, especially inter Strigoi, right, and how there can be their own self-interest, right? And she knows that that's kind of how it is with Dimitri and fucking Nathan, how they're always just fighting each other, trying to be top dog, right?
Yeah, well, fuck Nathan.
Yeah, fuck Nathan for real.
I mean, he was grody and nasty and bad in the last book, and based on what we saw of him last chapter, I don't foresee him changing that opinion.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
And then she just goes into Dimitri brain for a while. And what it would look like if she was with him forever as a Strigoi, and what she would look like, and how she wouldn't be able to look at herself in the mirror, and losing connection to her soul, and all of that, which is
At this point in time,
right.
Rose does seem to rank the difficulty of doing her hair based on no reflection as more important than the loss of connection to her soul.
Yes.
But I think that's just because Rose is who she is.
Right. And she's, figuring it out okay, and it's just being like in a panic mode and being like, yeah, that would be very fucking inconvenient, and again trying to like use humor as a way to be like, okay, well, that'd be a pain in the ass, wouldn't it? Ha ha ha, everything's fine, I'm fine. You know?
Yes.
She finally eats this pizza and brownie situation. It's almost 24 hours since she's eaten. And she's like, yeah.
Because I think she had initially wanted to, like, she was like, fuck you, Dimitri, I'm not going to let you change
Right.
me.
She's like, I'll starve myself.
So I'm going to, right.
Whatever. And she's like, that's kind of silly. Also, he will just turn me before I even, because starving yourself takes a very long time, notably. Yeah. It's not really a quick and easy death. So she's like, fuck it, I'll just eat this pizza and brownie. It looks pretty good, even though it's kind of cold, but like, whatever, it's here. I'll eat it.
But also cold pizza. Ugh.
Oh my god, yeah. Not to like romanticize this prison, but like eating a cold pizza sounds pretty lit.
And I don't even think it's like cold, right? Because it's just like room temperature.
Oh yeah, I guess it had only been there for like an hour or so. So it's not like cold. So it's just like lukewarm pizza.
God, that sounds so good. But she realizes, right, like, starving myself is going to take forever. Right. I've seen that on Survivor.
Yes.
It's not going to work. But also, like, if I'm going to have any chance of getting out of here and actually, like, doing what I came to fucking Russia for, then I need to have my strength. And I can't just, like, starve myself. So, yeah, I'm going to eat this pizza and brownie. Fuck yeah. Sounds great.
Don't even fucking... I'm doing this, okay? You can't trick me. I'll fuel myself.
Exactly.
And then we get our first Ina? Is that how you pronounce it? Ina?
That's how I've been saying it in my brain.
That sounds right. Cameo. She's like sort of, I guess like assistant kind of vibe of just like checking in, doing laundry stuff, taking plates, whatever. That kind of her role in this sort of weird prison. And immediately Rose is like caught off guard because she's like, fuck, I wasn't like preparing for someone to come in. Like I could have like planned an escape. Like I got distracted by this food. Like, fuck, this could have been my chance, whatever.
Right.
Which, you know, she has enough esteem stuff going on in terms of like, I missed my chance. It's like, hey, you're literally imprisoned right now. So we could be a little bit kinder to ourselves in terms of, you know, we don't have to really do this all the time. It's okay. It's okay. Let's figure it out. She like gives all these...
maybe we just observe for a little bit.
Do a little bit of a bird's eye view, okay? You don't have to rush into anything right now because you have literally no idea what's on the other side of that door. And so Ina has like all these clothes and stuff. And this is where I just lose it.
This pissed me off.
Yep.
Because we know that Rose has been in her same clothing for at least a day.
Right.
Probably longer. But she's been in the same jeans and t-shirt for a long time. Fucking Ina brings in this huge, like, arms full of clothes. And they're not, notably, they are not clothes that you could escape in.
Right.
They are all, they're not things with pockets. It's some underwear, bras, but also nightgowns and all dresses. Specifically in, like, satin and silk.
Yeah.
The thing that made me fucking cackle the most, though, is the one that Rose ends up choosing is, like, the most casual one. Which is this, like, fucking Merida-esque green sweater dress. And it's like, what? One, I get it, right? You don't want something that she could very easily, like, fight in. And you want something that's, like, prison. Like, I get why. It's just, it pissed me off.
Yeah. No, it's very gross. Especially because it's like, oh, so I'm just, like, a dress-up doll situation here.
Yeah.
Don't love that.
So nasty.
Pretty gross, if you ask me. She also notices, too, that, like, when she's leaving, she like types in a little very complicated passcode that she can't really see, and obviously doesn't like follow after her, but kind of like looks behind her or like over her shoulder, and sees that there's like a shitty little hallway, scary looking hallway that leads to another door with another passcode. So she's like double,
because of course,
locked in here. So she's like, okay, great, good I didn't charge in there because I would have been for sure fucked. Because there's another thing I'd have to get past. But now is getting at least more information. None of it's great, but she has more of it.
It's not good.
No.
It makes me nervous. And I'm not surprised because everything that we've seen so far has made it seem like this place is not strapped for resources. But I am glad that Rose thought for a second and was like, I'm just gonna chill.
Right. Yeah. What if I just chill? And she tries to like sleep a little bit. And is this part,
because what else is she supposed to do? There's nothing.
She's got nothing. She has like, she can watch some, TV or whatever, but like she's not really in the mood, probably. Just wants to fucking relax, right? And this part broke me out of many places that broke me this week. And she's like, yeah, I know I told Adrian to like stay the fuck away from me, but I would really like him to show up in my dreams just so I can have somebody to talk to. And like, I was a piece of shit to him and that sucks. But also, this is the worst thing that's happening in the world right now, and I am literally alone.
Yep. And no one knows where
No one knows where she is.
No one knows.
Nobody knows if she's alive. Yep. Like, God.
God damn it. When she wakes up, I could not help but laugh.
Yeah.
And I don't want to because I don't like this situation.
Sure.
I don't like any part of it. But I don't know why, but I just thought it was funny that it's like, Dimitri, what the fuck are you just like doing?
Right.
Sitting there in a living room.
Doing real Edward cosplay right now.
Yes.
Watching her.
He's just like fucking reading a Western, waiting for her to wake up. And it's like, homie, what are you doing?
Like, hey man.
You're so weird. And it's stuff like this that it's like, you're so confusing. Why do you want to bend her will like this? It's weird.
I hate it.
Because it's not like old Dimitri.
Right. No, it's
the bad version.
He's bad. He's full bad. And it's just like, I wanted to see you, obviously. And they have this weird rapport where he's like, are you tired of like always standing? Because obviously Rose is like keeping her distance. Because he's a strange, scary man. And she again is trying to be like, make some jokes to try to get like the old Dimitri to come out and get their old rapport back. But obviously that doesn't, because he's not the same anymore. And it's I hate it. I hate it so much. It
feels like he's playing dress up, even though she's in the one in the sweater dress.
Yeah.
Because there are some times when it feels really convincing, but for the most part it feels really awkward.
Right.
And it sucks so bad. Because it's like a timeshare. He's trying really hard to convince her, especially about drinking blood and how it's like the greatest experience.
It's so fucking sexy, and also you liked getting sucked too, so I know you're horny for it too.
And he keeps trying to relate it not just like to how she's let Lissa do that to her before, but how, like, he keeps trying to be like, but don't you want me to do it? Like, it's nasty. Yeah. Like, it's weird. It's weird.
Yeah, it's very sad, because she's also like, you, listen, you know, the blood stuff is one thing, but, like, you're actively killing people to do that, right? In a way that Moroi don't. And that's where the line is in terms of this, right? And he's like, yeah, well, they're fucking missing out, because it's so fucking satisfying seeing the light fade from someone's eyes. And it's like, hey, buddy, don't like any of this. This is not great. I don't love this. And obviously, it makes Rose feel very sick to her stomach.
I also thought it was interesting, too, because they have a similar conversation that they had the day before, where he asks, like, what are you doing here?
Right.
And Rose reiterates the same thing that she had said before, which is like, I came to free you. And he's like, girl, I am free.
I've been trying to say I'm free.
I'm definitely not in a cult. I'm free.
And then he, like, uses that to make her question things she's already been fucking stressed out about, you know, of, like, what are you gonna do after this? Like, what's your plan after you, like, you know, free my soul or whatever? Do you even have anything? You're gonna go back to the academy, gonna hang out with Lissa? Like, what the fuck is the actual plan here? And Rose is like, I am working on it. Right? Yeah. Rose is like, can I just figure this out?
If you let me awaken you, like, Lissa won't be a threat to you anymore. Like, you'd be free. Like, the bond would break between the two.
Right, and you wouldn't have her suck all your energy and your stuff. Yeah. And it's like, hey, man, stop this. How dare you try to split my babes apart. My bond babes.
Oh, disrespectful. That's how I know that Dimitri can't be trusted. Yeah. And naturally, Rose is like, well, I can't let that happen, because, like, what would happen to Lissa? And Dimitri's like, fuck Lissa. Like, that's not my concern. I just want to be with you.
Yeah.
Fuck this dude. I can't, no.
This guy's bad news.
He's not really giving her a choice, right? He keeps being like, I'm gonna, like, let you have this choice. Like, you can decide, like, if you want to be awakened. The problem, though, is that he is using his sexy body, which we know Rose is, like, not, that's very distracting for her. Yeah. And so, like, when he, like, starts kissing her, right, and is like, Rose is like, oh no, don't do this, because then I can just, like, pretend that you're regular Dimitri and it's fine. Right. Except for when she accidentally, like, touches one of his fangs, and she's like, oh, well,
Nope, hate it.
Never mind.
Bad.
Nope, we can't do this. Never mind. I think she said it felt like a fucking bucket of water on her.
She's like, oh, God, like, cold water. And she's like, no, we can't do this. I don't want to do this. And he's like, you didn't seem to mind, you know. It can all be like it was back in the cabin. And he keeps throwing the cabin in her face of being like, hey, that was a different time. Things are a little bit different now, sir. Okay?
Yeah, you were alive.
You were alive. You were like a living, actual person. So maybe let's think about this for a moment here. And again, just getting into a fight of being like, you know, this is what she wants and what she doesn't want, you know. And it's then he bites her, which
it's so fucked up.
And of course,
this is how we know it's not, like, Dimitri,
right? That's like a clear sign of, like, this is just, he's lost his soul, you know. It's not there anymore, left out the building, you know, out of here. And Rose reasonably is, like, first of all overcome with, like, sexy emotions of being like, wow, this is hot, right? But also being like, hey, whoa, hey, whoa, are you gonna turn me right the fuck now, or awaken me right the fuck now? Like, this was supposed to be my choice. And he's like, no, right. We're just, like, microdosing right now. I'm only just doing it for pleasure, and it'll be good, so don't you worry.
Except for that it will not
It will not. No. Spoiler alert, folks. It's not good.
It will not be good.
So,
it's
chapter 20. The next few days, she is just in this seemingly new...
She's gone, girl. She's
gone.
Out.
We lost her. Because they are full in this intertwined pattern of, you know, getting your blood sucked, being horny, making out, watching fucking TV together. Like, all of these things that would maybe at first seem like, oh, cute, great. Except the fact she's in a prison of his own making. And is manipulating her and her feelings for him to make her do something that she doesn't want to do.
She says, like, my time was divided into Dimitri or not Dimitri.
Nope. Hey.
Which is something that you say when you're, like, 13.
Yeah.
And you have your first crush. Mm-hmm. And it's figurative and not literal.
Right. Yeah, that is incredibly true.
Because when she says, like, when he wasn't there, she would try to pass the time as best as she could, and she would just, like, watch TV and lay there and be like, I'm a NPC that doesn't exist until he comes around.
Which sounds like just very proper symptoms of abuse. Like, very textbook.
That's disgusting. Yeah,
not
agreed.
Great. And she also notes that she started wearing the dresses now, which is bad. Rose. Like, I get that this is not your fault, but also it sucks to see someone that's, like, very strong-willed and very in charge of her shit, just, like, because of this guy and because of how powerful and manipulative he is.
Yeah, be forced to not have any agency
over anything. It's awful. It sucks. Oh, God.
Yeah, and just distract her with, like, everything but sex. Mm-hmm. Like, there's still, like, let me rephrase that. Everything but penetrative sex. And jewelry. Mm-hmm. And, lots of distractions, but still staying in that room. And it's just so fucked up. The way that he is trying to convince her to literally give up her soul is, like, we can have sex when you do it. It's literally the opposite of Edward.
Yeah. Right. Actually. No, for real. It's like dark evil. This makes me so upset.
It does.
And, like, he gives her gifts too, like necklaces and shit. And again, abuse. This is abuse. Because the way that she's thinking about things, like, how could I be mad at him when he's giving me such nice things? Girl.
And the thing, and I can't be mad at her.
No, of course not.
In general. But I also cannot be mad at her because there are also, like, heightened hormones that are happening that, like, don't exist in this world. Mm-hmm. Like, because of how this like, how the blood works. That like, when he is, like, biting her, it's so euphoric that I know she mentions it too, that, like, there is that even more than it would be in, like, an abusive situation, like, she cannot think about anything else. But it's exhausting to read because it's like, Rose, no.
Right. Rose, please.
And it's hard to read too because based on what we know about the feeders at the school and also the other situations that Rose has talked about before, if you were being fed off of that often, her neck would be absolutely fucked.
At this point, from how frequently it seems to be happening, does not look great.
And it's like, the fact that Dimitri has literally no soul, there's just absolutely no compassion or worry about her safety. Like, he's staying away just long enough so that he does not kill her.
Yeah.
And that's grody.
Also, this conversation about Abe was
not
great. Because she's like, you're just like Abe, which already maybe a bad association, Rose. Right. Just off the top of the dome here. And he's like, wait, you know Abe and he was following you? Like, what the fuck did he want with you? And she's like, I don't know, like, you know, was wondering why I was in Russia, told me to get out of here. Like, that's kind of the vibe, you know. I just gave up and, you know, he was probably looking for me, right? And he's like immediately like flips a switch and it's like, I don't want you near him. He's dangerous. You know, that won't be a problem, obviously, like when we're both awoken, you know, but like he's bad news. And she's like, okay, I feel like I would like some more information here, but it seems like you're not going to give that to me because you seem very angry. But
Grody.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Sir, please. Used to be so good and cool.
What I also found really sad, I guess, is like there's a moment when Dimitri's gone. Or maybe it wasn't gone, but I think she just says, like, in the moments when he is gone, she thought it was strange that she hadn't consented to becoming a Strigoi, and yet Dimitri keeps saying, like, when you awaken.
Right. Yeah.
And there's parts too, like, even though so much of her is gone because of really, like, the drugs and it's endorphins and hormones and stuff, but like, she's still, parts of her are still there because she, like, makes fun of him, like, oh, okay, before you leave, like, here's your sales pitch. And I did find this part weird when he's like, okay, to make this point even clearer to you, I'm gonna take you outside for theoretically the first time in, like, what, a week, maybe?
Yeah. Which, like, what? First of all, she's like, are we allowed? Is that allowed? I was pretty sure this was a prison situation here.
Yeah.
And he's like, we could do whatever, you know, anything I want. Which is... So, like, they go out through these two keyed doors.
He has to carry her because she is, like, gone.
Right, she's out. And immediately are, like, confronted by this, like,
fucking Nathan's like, you can't be
right, it's
here.
like, sorry, what the fuck is this? You know, I'm supposed to be watching.
You're not following
the rules. Homegirl's gonna be so mad at you. I'm gonna tell on you. And she's gonna be pissed, okay? And Dimitri's, like, not having it. He's like, I'm taking her for a walk. I don't give a fuck. I'll chat with Galena. It's fine. Like, I'm cooler and bigger and stronger than you. So eat shit and die, okay?
Right.
And these bros.
It's weird because, like, they get into these fights. This is the second fight that Rose has seen them get into. And when she's watching it, I mean, one, I get it, because, like, fuck Nathan. But she's noticing, even though she's, like, incredibly not sober, that Dimitri seems to enjoy it more than you would punching Nathan, who's an asshole. And she's like, that's sus.
Right.
I'll think about that
because she's
later.
Like, you know, obviously when Dimitri was not a Strigoi, he was very strong and powerful, but, like, he did it with purpose. He did it to protect people.
Yeah.
He wasn't just starting fights willy-nilly. But Strigoi Dimitri is like, just wants the glory and the power and to win, right? And to just do anything because he now can, right? And Rose is just like, that's something. That's, don't like that. Save that in my back pocket.
Like, this is not very reassuring.
Right, not having a great, yeah. It's not really setting up for a great life together, but great. And realizes that, like, she is scared of him, you know, like, fully, in a way that I don't think she allowed herself to really, like, vocalize, and still hasn't vocalized to anyone besides herself, but, like, as being like, oh, this is, like, yes, this is a different
I'm a killer
guy.
Noah.
Right, literally. Being like, yep, this is not looking great for me. Huh, interesting.
Yeah. But, like, for
yeah,
real.
it's bad. It's bad news.
Then, okay, as if this night couldn't get any worse, Dimitri takes her into my biggest fear, which is a fucking hedge maze.
Oh my god, so rude. So disrespectful.
It's just like, listen, I get it, they're on an estate, right? Like, of course they'd have a fucking hedge maze. But it's just like, hedge mazes are terrifying, right? Yeah. And that's just so much landscaping involved. Is it really good for the environment? Who's to say, you know? And I just find it, and they're just scary. Mm-hmm. But the main reason why it seemed like was so that Dimitri could be like, look up at the sky. Have you ever seen stars before? Let me mansplain these stars.
Right. Also, as if they didn't go to school in, like, Montana. You know, like, they saw stars.
Literally, like, as if they didn't live in a place that was as far away from city limits as possible. Right. Like, hello?
But, like, okay dude.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright, are you gonna fucking play Wonderwall now? Like, okay.
And he's just...
He makes her, like, lay down in the grass, too. And it's like, homie... she's in a dress. Yeah. Like, it's cold out. This is not romantic. Okay.
Right. And again, he's just like, you know, I'm sick of waiting. I want us to be together. Like, don't you like this? What's taking you so long to make this choice, to be with me? Whatever. And she just, like, again, is like, why? Why do you even want me? Why is this even a thing? And he doesn't, like, really answer the question, you know, outside of just why wouldn't I, you know, which, red flag.
Is not the correct answer.
Certainly not. And then we finally get the woman, the boss lady, Galena.
I imagined it, even though that's not how it is in the book, but I just imagined it as like a WWE.
Yeah.
Like, fog, lights, walking down the runway. Yeah, exactly.
Just fucking punching shit.
But instead, it's just like this dark shape that like covers the stars, and Rose is like, excuse me, hello?
Yeah, and
I'm getting fresh air for the first time. Can you move?
Right. Apparently she's like, you know, very cool looking, very hot. Just like a bad bitch. And
she's like, get the fuck off my
right.
grass.
And it's like speaking to Dimitri in Russian. And Rose be like, I can pick up a few words, but not really getting the gist here. And Dimitri's just like, hey, this is Galena. She's the girl that's let you stay. Yeah. Yeah, I love her. She's very kind of letting you stay here, but also she does not want you to be here as a hip here literally any longer, so we should just like figure that out, huh? And Rose is like, cool. Not loving this.
Yeah, not
great. And it's like, okay, either I die or turn into this thing, Strigoi. And those are my options. Great, love it, feeling great.
Love binary.
Yeah,
options.
and she's like, you know how long, like, we have to, like, make that decision, you know? And he's like, I'll wait a little longer, and then I will make the choice for you.
Cool, as if you haven't already done
like,
that.
yeah, just good that you're, like, saying it with your whole chest now, I guess. Cool.
Right.
and again, it's just pressure, like, make the right choice, as if he didn't say that he was just gonna do it anyway. And she's like, okay, well, then what would that like even look like? Like, would I work for Galena like you do? Like, would we just, like, vibe here?
Are you gonna draw up a prenup?
Right, like, what's the sitch here? And he's like, yeah, we'll work for Galena for a little while until we kill her.
Okay, but that's so vague.
Yeah, Dimitri, that's not a plan, like, Dimitri.
It's just like, you used to be so strong and committed and thoughtful and, like, disciplined, and now you won't even say that, like, the reason you want me to change is because you love me. You basically just want
power.
To fuck. Mm-hmm. So, like, fuck this dude, you know? And that sucks, because, like, I love Dimitri, but this isn't Dimitri.
This is bad news.
This is some bad news bears. Reading this hurt a lot for a lot of reasons outside of the mazes situation. And I'm nervous about him just continuing to just suckle on her prob's O negative blood. Yeah. Until she's like, yeah, change me, it's fine. Because that can't be how this ends. No. That's not anything.
Yeah, something's gotta give here.
Hey, I like that. Hey. So I'm nervous. So we have chapters 21 and 22 next week, and I'm hoping for something a little bit lighter. Ferrero. Hey, please
stop this.
Please. We have some amazing patrons to thank. Would you like to start us off?
Absolutely. Thank you to Katie Black.
Ooh. Thank you to Kylie Minty.
Thank you to Alex Dornan.
Ooh. Thank you to Carrie Goldberg.
Ooh. Thank you to Rebecca Cullen.
Ooh. Thank you to Jasmine Anastasia.
Thank you to Megan Pattinson.
Ooh. Thank you to Cassandra O'Shea.
Thank you to Clara Belikov.
Ooh. Thank you to Katya Karp.
Thank you to Hannah Dragomir.
Ooh. Thank you to Hope Castile.
Thank you to Rachel Ashford.
Ooh. Thank you to Maddie Facinelli.
Ooh. Thank you to Samara Rinaldi.
Ooh. Thank you to Genevieve Morgan.
Thank you to Tess Avery.
Ooh. Thank you to Danielle Burke.
Thank you to my mom, your mom, all of our moms, Kelly Beck.
Ooh. Thank you to Sophia Salinger.
Thank you to Laura Forty.
Ooh. Thank you to Dan Zeklos.
Ooh. Thank you to Maria Swan.
Ooh. Thank you to India Peach.
Ow, ow. And last but certainly not least, thank you to Emily Ozera.
Ooh. So, I have a fan fiction for you that was sent in and written by India Peach.
Ooh.
Here is the context for this. This was inspired by Genevieve Morgan's hunt for a Cars/Twilight fan fiction in episode 269. India says, I decided to Thanos it and just do it myself. It's a prequel to both universes.
Oh, shit.
And is Doc Charlie centric. But no worries, it stays PG. I'm not brave enough to imagine it PG-13.
Oh my gosh.
So this is titled Life is a Highway.
Oh, stop.
And the summary is Charlie Swan decides to leave Forks after his divorce and is going on a road trip to find a new place to call home. He finds much more than he bargained for on a pit stop in a little town of Radiator Springs.
Oh, God.
And this is from chapter 2. Charlie Swan groaned, feeling a little stiffness in his back as he shifted away from the sunlight. He rolled over and found himself face down on the ground. He rubbed the sleep from his eyes as he sat up and saw that he had been resting upon 3 stacks of tires with a blanket on top. Reluctantly, he looked around and saw that he was not alone. The car that had introduced himself as Doc Hudson the night before sat dormant next to him. He waved his arms and waited for a response that didn't come. Maybe it was a dream after all, he reasoned with himself. He was back in the garage. He was sure he'd met Luigi and Guido in, but they were nowhere in sight. Guess I spent a little too long awake yesterday, he thought with a little air of amusement. He stood up and searched for another door, but the garage door was his only exit. He started walking out when his thoughts were interrupted by a familiar voice. I don't know how to do Doc Hudson. Looking for your car? Doc Hudson asked. Charlie spun around to see the Hudson Hornet's eyes open again. Oh, great. I've officially lost my marbles. End scene.
Wow. That is beautiful.
Oh, no. India, this is 5,000 words long. India.
Oh, my God.
So long. This is beautiful. Thank you for adding such powerful work to Archive of Our Own.
Thank you for your service.
I didn't know that we... Thank you for your service. Continuing to add to our fan fiction curators who are, in fact, braver than the Marines. Thank you for that.
We appreciate it.
I would say, this is what I feel patriotism for. The 2 most American men I know, Doc Hudson and Charlie Swan. There. Now we have some patriotism
we did it.
in our episode.
We did it.
Some accidental patriotism. Well, folks, hey, sorry for Ferrero.
Yeah.
We can't do it every time. Tell your friends to listen to the show, because we have some, we got some exciting stuff coming up for later this month and next month. So tell your friends, listen to the show. Get your, I was going to say get your affairs in order. I don't know what the fuck that means. Hey, just in general, that's probably a good plan.
Yeah, just...
That's just a good life advice, I guess.
Never say we don't give people advice on this show.
Hey, never say this isn't an advice show. And as we say in the Pacific Northwest,
get bit.
And get whipped.
Into the Twilight is an Earbud Media production. You can follow us on Twitter at Into the Twilight or on TikTok at Into the Twilight Show. You can find me at Cody Corral on Twitter and Allie at Alexandria Does. And you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/Into the Twilight. We have merch, so much stuff. All those links are in the episode description. And make sure to rate and review us on your favorite podcast hosting platform. It really helps the show. Thanks. Bye.
You've been listening to Earbud Media Production. Earbud Media. Audio for everyone.